Hello guys and welcome to Arab Gaming World Random Chat. I don't know how to move around with the camera and the mirroring thingy, but yeah, welcome to our first discussion and we'll be talking about Tomb Raider, Starcraft, whatever stores it's called, Swarm thingy, and DayZ.
And what?
Have you guys played DayZ? Is that, the popular mod for Arma 2? So, who played Tomb Raider?
I played Tomb Raider.
What are your thoughts?
I completed Tomb Raider.
I finished Tomb Raider.
Okay, then please no spoilers or anything, but after our last talk...
She died at the end.
Yeah, it's expected she dies, man, after all that. Like, after all the times that I killed her, it's only fair that she dies.
Okay, so what's your favorite weapon or action in the movie?
What?
What's your favorite weapon / action in the movie?
In the movie or in the game?
The game, sorry.
Well, I'm really liking the bow. Like, it's considered the best weapon. I'm not sure if you're gonna get like a dual-wielded pistol yet in the game. I mean, I'm hoping it gets it. But so far it's the bow, of course.
Like as you progress in the games, the new items you get, the new techniques, and the new skill sets you earn, makes the game really interesting. It makes it challenging, and like in the certain areas, you can't progress unless you get these skills. So basically, you're not, let's say, you're OP from the start. You have to earn those skills in order to complete certain areas.
But it is an open world game, right?
Yeah, it's an open world.
The open world.
It is like you can fast travel from camp to camp.
Yeah, but it's like there is a certain path that you have to follow. It's just the fast travel between camps.
Yeah,
the thing is, you can explore.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's true that you have like you have freedom to go wherever you want, but it's not like Far Cry 3. You don't have a sandbox. You have you could say like it's still closed world. Like the path is narrow, so you have to follow the path to go from one camp to another.
Yeah, it's true. Like it's a closed
map. Far Cry
map.
3 it was quite open compared to Tomb Raider.
Far Cry 3 was a massive sandbox game. Like you could go wherever you want.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like with Tomb Raider, because it's closed map, you can go and do whatever you want. But like, there's an objective to what you do. In Far Cry, you can do whatever you want, but there's no objective.
So is Tomb Raider
Before we proceed, sorry to interrupt you guys. Mati, can we have the link to the chat so we can share it with people on the internet?
The link to the chat.
I have it. I'm gonna post it on the chat. Okay, never mind, I don't have it. Okay. Never mind, I found it again.
Wait, let's see, like comments.
There we go. Check the chat, you'll find it there.
Yeah, like the chat should be available here. If you click, if you leave a comment, we'll be able to see it on here.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is,
if anyone has a question or anything, we're just like
yeah, you can ask us questions on facebook.com/Arab Gaming World, since it's more convenient for you. Anyway, back to the Tomb Raider topic. How do you guys? I think my favorite feature in the game is the whole salvaging and killing animals for upgrades and stuff. You know, that feature adds a nice.
You're not forced to do it, but it's good to do it because you can earn XP and salvage points, which you can use to upgrade your weapons and gear.
Yeah,
you're not forced on one certain thing.
Yeah, I kill animals, destroy boxes, and anything I can salvage, I take it, you know? and I nearly have everything pretty much maxed out, and I'm still at the start of it.
The thing is, like, there's certain areas you have to explore really carefully because there's some objects that are really, really well hidden. So it makes you like scout out and explore. You know, it actually makes you become an explorer.
There are like at the start of the game, there was when you enter a cave to get something from the pack of wolves. When you pass by that cave again, you get like a message that says if you explore tombs, you'll get the secret rewards and stuff. I haven't seen any other tombs. Have you guys?
No, as you progress into the game, you find many tombs. Like you see some writings on the walls or directions to where the tomb is. And then you go in, and every single tomb, there's a certain puzzle you have to complete in order to get your reward.
Yeah, that's one other question I had, because so far I haven't really gotten into a puzzle that made me go like, damn it. Because I remember in the previous parts of like in PS1 and in PS2, there were like these puzzles that make you hate the game.
Not like the puzzles aren't that complicated.
So the puzzles back then were hard because we were kids.
I really don't believe so, because I remember like my uncle was playing Tomb Raider. I'm not sure which part, but it was on the PS1, and he got to this point where he was trying to solve this puzzle with every single equipment and items that he found, but it wasn't solvable in any way. And he was like, okay, this is my last item. If it didn't work, I'm done with this game. So he tried, and it didn't work. He just opened the PS1, took the CD out, threw it up the wall, and he was like, okay, fuck this game, I'm not playing it anymore. That's how frustrated he used to get from.
But it's true.
There was one part. Okay, there was one puzzle in Tomb Raider. Like you're staring at an area, but you don't notice the level above you is also changing. So you're trying to figure it out, like what you're supposed to do, what's going to happen, and everything. But the thing is, if you look above, you'll notice exactly what's going on, and that's how you solve the puzzle. But if you keep on one level, it's like impossible to solve it.
Did you figure that on your own?
Hold on,
Yeah,
let's move on.
all the puzzles on my own.
No, honestly, I went to some walkthroughs because that puzzle, especially the ceiling one, was just too hard to figure out.
No, they're not that hard. You just need your time to figure out exactly the mechanics of the area, and you figure out what happens. You just need to see everything. If you don't, you probably won't be able to solve it.
Moving on to the next topic, the story of the game. What do you guys think of about the story of Tomb Raider?
I really love the story.
I mean, so far what I noticed that like it's like they took us to the first. I mean, I'm not sure if it's the same Lara Croft as the previous parts or not.
It's not. It
It's
is
not.
Lara
It's
Croft,
probably it's like a descendant or something. I believe like.
No, what the developers said, this new Tomb Raider is going to be a complete new reboot, showing you a new Lara which people can relate to. Do you agree that you can relate to that Lara Croft?
Man, you still can't.
Yeah, like
You can't relate to this Lara Croft. She's a beast.
no, it's like the way the story plays out actually makes sense, you know. Like in the first Tomb Raider, we just have this OP dual-wielding girl just destroying everything, you know. In this one, like it shows you how she progresses, what happens, like how things affect her, how she makes decisions and everything. It actually makes sense, you know. But overall, the story is quite good. You know, even though they went overboard with it, but still, it's a Tomb Raider game. You'd expect something like this.
What do you mean they went overboard? The last twist was great.
No, I'm not talking about the twist. I'm just talking
Please,
about the whole
no
event.
spoilers, guys. Not for me, not
No
for
spoiler.
us.
Yeah, I know.
It's not
I'm
good.
just talking about the whole event as a whole. You know, it's just too overboard. But like I said, it's something you'd expect from Tomb Raider.
So like, let's go. I mean, whoever played it, how much would you rate the game out of 10?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's quite good. It actually makes you come back to play it when you stop, so it's really good. The gameplay is nice, the mechanics are nice. I didn't face any trouble, let's say, like bugs or
I
anything.
didn't enjoy the sounds. There wasn't enough sounds in the game. The sounds were all pretty much repetitive, and there wasn't much music to actually like get you going, kind of, you know? There isn't much suspense in the music. You'd expect more suspense in the music.
And actually, like, there's some parts where the music was quite good. Especially when you enter the secret rooms. And one thing I liked was her view, the survival instinct. When you use it inside a tomb and it's really dark, actually gives you that tense feeling you might see something suddenly out of nowhere.
This is what happens when you go into a tomb. Basically, that's it. You found the tomb.
Yeah, but when you enter,
No shit,
like,
Sherlock.
and one good thing liked about it was when you find something, when she examines something, like the dialogue. The dialogue was really good. Like, it talks about the artifacts, it tells you what they are, she explains them, and then there's like a side note which you can read, like where the item was from or something. It's quite good.
I have a question. Have any of you guys had the time to listen to her talk?
I listen to everything.
When she when you go to the camp, she starts talking, you know, her journals and shit.
Yeah, some of her journals are really good. Like if you hear it fully, you'll just like be surprised at what she says. Like, some of the things she says are really good.
If you're playing the game for the action and the fun and stuff, you're gonna skip through it. But if you're gonna play for the lore and the story and stuff, obviously you're gonna read. But most people just
Yeah, it actually makes sense, like, when you read. And the good thing about it, like, through her speaking, you can actually know a bit about her history. And you can make out things of her past and things.
we don't want to linger on too much on Tomb Raider because we have.
Yeah,
a few
so
things to
just
cover.
like let's CKs, what's your score of the game?
I'll give it an 8.5 because I agree with Badr that there was no music to me comparing it to other games.
Hamjacks has disappeared.
Well, I can't really say anything since I haven't tried game, so I'll just sit this one out.
All right. I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10 because I'm really enjoying the game so far, and like the graphics are really good. Regardless of me playing on Ultra and you guys are playing on God level, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but don't worry,
Yeah,
they're gonna fix
Ultra
that
is the
driver issue
highest.
in the next driver.
No, Matthew,
No,
listen. Ultra is the highest, and then Ultimate is just with TressFX, which is the new AMD technology. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like with the new driver from NVIDIA, they should fix the problem with the graphics at the moment.
They fixed it already.
No, like if you have the current driver, you need to update the driver, and it should work much better than it is.
All right, that's cool. Because I mean, when I'm playing on Ultra, I'm not getting any lags or anything. It's a stable FPS and really good for me. I mean,
It depends. Like, do you have the current driver or like an older version? Because if you have the current driver, those are the people who faced issues.
I'm using Google Experience, and it automatically gives me the best performance I need for the game, and it also upgrades my drivers all the time.
All right.
So like,
So I guess you were lucky.
yeah, so like the driver is already downloaded and ready for me.
Yeah.
I just have to install it.
Yeah, GeForce
Yeah,
Experience does
yeah,
that.
I think you guys, like, whoever doesn't have it should download GeForce Experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It gives you like
I got
the best-
owned because I had SLI set up.
You need it gives you the best performance for your setup, and it also gives you the latest drivers.
yeah. The latest drivers, even better drivers.
Yeah, even better
It's-
drivers.
And it's compatible with SLI configuration.
Yeah, no, but like when the game came out, it wasn't compatible with SLI. If you set it on
Oh.
Ultra or Ultimate, the FPS dropped to 6 or 5.
Oh, whoa.
We haven't
Okay,
received
now-
any
Next
questions,
topic.
which indicates that
Guys,
we have what?
next topic. You have a lot to say.
Okay, next topic is Starcraft 2.
StarCraft, yeah, Heart of the Swarm. I haven't played the game. I haven't played StarCraft actually at all. But as far as I know, Hamjacks played StarCraft, and CK is currently playing StarCraft 2.
So is
you
this
guys
like
need to give
is
us
this
your
like a
input on this.
DLC?
No,
No, it's an
It's
expansion.
it's an expansion pack for the original game, but it's as big as the original game, but they sell it as an expansion pack.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I haven't tried it myself, but StarCraft itself is phenomenal, especially if you want to compete against others. The
So basically,
ranking
it's like
aspects
the
of
old
it.
Warcraft 3, but futuristic.
It's a bit different. It's mostly like Command and Conquer, if you know it, general type
Yeah.
strategy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always strategic. There's no such thing as a one champ or hero that
Yes.
could like pretty much carry your team. It's
That's more like
always strategic.
Red
You need to
Alert
know what
and all
you're
these
doing. You
things.
need to be decisive. You know, I haven't played the game. I started by watching streams about it. I fell in love with the game after watching people like go against each other in streams, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, like I saw a few games on StarCraft. Like the way people play, the way they position themselves, the way they sneak in, the way they flank. You know, it's like very tactical, strategic.
And
It's not like you just charge and win.
True. And every single person has their own strategy, and it's always different. You don't see people doing the same thing over and over again. There was a
So
race.
it's like not a linear game. You have your own style. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly. There are different builds, different, like unit structures, the way you build them, like which one you upgrade first. It's always different. What you do defines what happens in the battlefield, whether you win or lose.
And the thing is, like, you can play counter. It's like you can counter play to what people pick. Like, let's say this guy goes a certain build. You can just go like in a build that counters this. Or let's say this guy rushes, you build defenses first and stuff. It's like you have to be very
That's
tactical.
the thing. That's why at the start of the game, they always send scouts. Like, every race, and they always have like those starting units that they're the ones that take resources for you. They always send like one or two of them to scout the enemy base to see what your opponent is building. Because depending on what he or she builds, like you'll get an idea of what their build or unit structure will be like, and can prepare for it.
And counter them.
Exactly. Last thing, like once I saw a guy who was playing, he just completely rushed the other guy without seeing what he had. And the other guy expected that, and he built defenses, and he just destroyed the other guy. Like he just had like the ultimate defense for his rush. So that's why you should like send scouts first. You know, you have to see what's going on. Like you have to be very tactical and strategic. You shouldn't just rush in and expect to win.
Yeah. So okay. What's the main story of the game? Since CK played, what's the story of Heart of the Swarm?
Oh, the story Heart of the Swarm is it came from the first StarCraft 2 and from StarCraft 1. It's a very long story and a bit complicated with a lot of twists. It's Blizzard thing from Warcraft, from World of Warcraft to Diablo. They did the same thing to StarCraft 2.
But
They
it's
just
what
keep
you
the
call
story
it.
going.
From what I know is it's three races. The,
Yes, three
Protoss,
races.
Terran, and Zerg.
Yeah, Zerg.
Okay.
Zerg.
Okay,
and what's each one?
They stole that name from me.
The Protoss are like the dominators of the universes. They're like the futuristic robots,
Okay.
and they are like the well-balanced race. If you pick them, they have a good offensive and a good defense. The Zerg are like an alien race that mutates.
Okay.
and the Terran and they're mostly with and the Zerg are mostly with about taking a lot of number of creatures and just attacking in hordes. And the Terrans are mostly about defensive, being defensive. They are like humans. They're mostly based on defenses and stay like half an hour building a huge army and then go and crush the enemy in one blow. That's
Okay,
mostly
so
like
what's
a
new?
small summary.
What's new in the heart of the swarm that people should, look out for?
Well, in the StarCraft 2, the campaign was about the Terran, about the humans. Now this one is about the Zerg, and the next one that's coming in 2015 will be about the Protoss. They added like new, like 2-3 more stuff in every race, and they balanced out stuff and improved the graphics, and they added like 20 levels of campaign and multiplayer maps. And a
So
new
just
system
added
of
new
ladder.
content.
Yep.
Okay. Like they're trying to keep the game alive because a lot of StarCraft 2 fans are like playing it constantly, and they've been playing it for quite a while. So I think they just wanted to have new content for them, to just keep them going.
And when you log into the game, it tells you how many people are online in that second, and it's mostly around 1 million.
Yeah, it
Anytime
has
when you
a
log in.
nice player base.
Okay, so it seems like I might get this game and give it a shot.
To anyone that loves PvP and strategy and mental game, this is the best game out there.
Yeah, at the moment, nothing can beat this game in terms of strategy, strategic
How
warfare.
about
I think it's probably on par with
how's the
Command and
competition
Conquer.
perspective of it? Like tournaments and events and stuff. Is there like
A
a big
lot of
thing going
tournaments
on?
and ranked.
If you want to compare it to like any famous game right now with that does tournaments, you can compare this game to League of Legends, because
Yeah,
the amount of
exactly.
tournaments that they do in Starcraft is it's just as much as League of Legends.
And it's worldwide as well.
Since you mentioned that, would you recommend us to add this to the Arab gaming world, what do you call it, tournaments list? Because we're thinking of adding it. We're currently going to host a League of Legends tournament soon, and we're thinking of adding a Tekken one. Now that I heard Starcraft
problem
has a big
is-
audience.
It depends, like what's the player base in
Base.
Oman?
Yeah. The problem
Starcraft.
is there is no player base of StarCraft in Oman that I've seen.
Like the
I
I
current,
think it's
the
people
current
tend to go to
dominating.
Command and Conquer.
Yeah, that's one of it, and like the current dominating game is League of Legends. You find it in every gaming center.
Okay, but why do you think, like, for example, in the Arab community, not many people are playing StarCraft? I mean, is it because of the
Yes,
servers
that's a good
problem, there's a
question.
close server close to them? Like, what could somebody do to get people within the Middle East to play this game?
Maybe because they have Dota 2 and League of Legends that are free to play, and StarCraft is costly.
You need to purchase
Might be a
it
reason.
in one-time purchase and then access everything else. But in
Yeah.
my
So
opinion,
basically, it's a purchasing issue.
get people to watch, to play the game, buy and play the game, they need to start watching streams like I did. Because only from watching streams, I had absolutely no idea about the game when I started watching the streams. And the way they were playing it looked so much fun. It felt amazing. Just watching it got me into the game. It wanted me to just try it.
It is
What do
amazing.
you guys think about
They should watch
us
streams.
getting the game and playing some games together?
Actually, yeah, I'm quite
Actually,
curious as to the multiplayer. Okay, is it like a 1-versus-1 battle, or you can have more than one?
It's
Like you can have like 3-versus-3 or.
yeah, you
You-
can do that. You can do that. You can
You
first.
set it up. Think of it like
Alright.
just think of it like Warcraft 3, the Age of 3.
Alright, so it has the same system.
Yeah, and you can do even custom maps. There are a lot of custom maps that you can play whatever game you want to play.
So I think this game is like a bit of LOL, you know, like where you can have custom games and you can have your friends playing just your friends playing. I think the idea of it having this system is quite good. You know, a lot of people want to practice with their friends, or they want to go against each other, you know, and learn the game. So it's actually a quite good system.
Yeah, it's good, and it has a good learning curve from the campaign, and you can even go and fight with AI in a 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2 game. So it's really good.
So it has many features, you know, to allow you to learn the game and play it.
So yeah, if you're thinking about Aman, I encourage it for more people to know the game, because I'm sure no one will hate the game. It's just a game that you instantly love.
And I think it's like because most people are playing World of Warcraft and they play Diablo and they just couldn't go for a third game. You know, it's like a bit too much. But I think with like the current gaming industry now, people might tend to go to strategy games. You know, LoL is a strategy game. So if they try out Heart of Storm, Starcraft 2 Heart of Storm, I think they might enjoy it because the current generation are focused on these strategy games.
Yeah, it's true. LoL is pretty much a team-based strategy game where your individual actions also would count. Either contribute or it either benefit your team or might bring them down. But Starcraft is all about you. Everything that you do, even one mistake, like if you misjudge your opponent in just one thing, you may end up losing everything. Like when it comes to scouting and really, pretty much everything.
Okay, what's the game duration average for a multiplayer game?
It depends. Like
junior plus 1 hour plus.
Junior games are like 20, 30, 40 minutes. But the pro players, I didn't watch a lot, but I think they extend more than an hour.
Actually, like when they face each other, it could take from maybe 10, 15 minutes. It won't go to an hour. It's probably much less than that. Like pro players, they know exactly what the other person is doing. So the way that they prepare when they attack, they pretty much go all out. So it could end either very fast or maybe midway, maybe 40 minutes or something. But there are longer games.
You know, you're talking about the game from like an individual player perspective. You know, like if this player is good, he perform good. But how will it work out when it's a team game, like when it's a 3v3 or 2v2? How will individual skills play out then?
Before we continue more on this topic, we should stop now because we want to go to the next game, which is DayZ or DayZ mod. It's a mod for Arma 2. And to play it, you need to have Operation Arrowhead installed with Arma 2 to enable this game. Basically, this game is a post-apocalyptic game. But I think the map is called Norris or something. Post-Soviet state or something. Anyway, the basic thing to do is scavenge, kill zombies or enemy players, and survive. You know, I recently played this game, and I found out that around 1.6 million people actually play this game. Believe it or not, I had no idea this many people played it. And the average life expectancy of a single player is 1 hour and 9 minutes. So, I tried playing the game. Honestly, the game is so much fun. I love zombie game. And the max I survived was pretty much, I would say, 30 minutes. Before
like when I saw solowind playing the game, like it wasn't easy, you know. Like you have to know what you do. You need to know where everybody is. Like you have to check out the area before you go. You have to see if there's like let's say resources or you can scavenge. Are there weapons to use? Can you hide? Like there's so many things to do. It's one of those games that gives you choices.
The Arma 2 body basically. It's like very realistic. You have to sneak. You have to like find binoculars or some night vision goggles and like scout ahead before you can move. You have to sneak, and you have to make sure when you get a gun, you get something that preferably doesn't make a lot of noise, because the moment you shoot the gun, you'll be swarmed by zombies out of nowhere, you know? So the best thing is get like a pistol, a silencer, or a crossbow, and just like go around and shoot people depending on where you want to go. And Hamjacks, you said you watched a few videos about DayZ.
Yes,
What are
I
your thoughts on
watched this guy. His name is Strafe. I've watched nearly all his videos, and there's a lot to say. It's not the zombies that you should be worried about in DayZ. It's the people, actually, because you don't know what they're thinking.
You're trying to survive.
It's like every man for himself. I saw, like, he was there. He saw a guy. He just told him that he's friendly. Like, the guy was just looking at him. He didn't shoot or anything. After a minute or two, the guy just blasts him and kills him. It's like in that minute or two, he was thinking whether or not to treat him as a threat. You know, it's like you shouldn't. The zombies are there, but you shouldn't worry about them as much as people. The people are the actual threat, because they're just gonna kill you and take your scavenged items, food, and drinks and whatnot.
Yeah, like the most common items people should have before they can actually start proper exploration is a compass, a watch, preferably binoculars and a night vision goggles. You need these things before you set out, because at night it gets very, very dark and you literally cannot see anything. You can find a flashlight too, but the flashlight is highly unadvisable because, you know, basically like saying, hey, look, I'm here. So if you have night vision, you can pretty much sneak around and have a low chance of zombies catching you.
Yes,
and actually,
but
to me, with night vision goggles, I found the best time is at night.
But you know, the problem is that people, like, at night, I even saw Strafe doing it. He could like turn the brightness settings, you know, like turn the screen bright, and nighttime wouldn't be as deadly. He says that a lot of people do that. They take advantage of, you know, the screen brightness, gamma, and everything.
Yeah, that's like it ruins the whole point in a way. I mean, it's fine.
Like, he just showed it to us. Yeah, you're right. He just showed it to us. He said that he didn't want to do that. He just showed us, tell us that it's not as hard as we think it is. But, you know, the guy just played it fair. He went, you know, blind at night.
Yeah, basically.
I'm quite curious about the game. You know, like, there's trees, there's buildings, there's vehicles. Like, can you climb on objects?
Depends. There are certain objects you can climb. And obviously not everything, because since it's a mod, so it's not fully immersive in the sense you can actually interact with everything around you.
Let's say like you have a rope or something. Can you like hang it to a tree, climb it to something, or it's just like limited to just certain places?
I haven't come across hanging on a tree or something. But you can,
what about the hamjacks like on the videos?
I haven't seen that happen during the time that I've just watched that guy play. Like, he has like 35 videos. Currently I've watched like 33 of his videos, and in all those videos I didn't see any of those things. You could like climb ladders and stuff, but
so it's just like those limited objects.
Yes, pretty much. Well, it is a mod, and you know, I heard that they might make it standalone in the future, but you know, only time will tell. But it's amazing. Just think of The Walking Dead when you think of DayZ. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So do you think, like, if they make a standalone version, do you think those limitations about interacting with the world and doing these things will be like removed, or do you think they'll still be there?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Like, let's say they make a standalone game. The limitations of climbing objects and stuff. Do you think they remove it or just keep it?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna remove it and add a whole, lot of features and other things, because if you see the game at the moment, it has a lot of things, but at the same time, it's still limited in its own way.
And it's kind of buggy in a way as well.
Yeah,
Like
it is also buggy.
So like you have these issues, like Dota, when it first started, it's a mod of Warcraft. And then when they made it standalone, there was a lot of things they could do. Like they removed the limitations they had. Like the voiceovers, the spells, and the animations and everything. So I think if DayZ goes to a standalone game, they probably could develop into a really, really good game.
Yes, true. And also, just so all of you would know, in DayZ, just like solowind said, you need to find food, you need to find drinks, you need to also find bandages and medicines, maybe some blood bags, because yes, you if without these things you won't survive. And also you need to keep your body in room temperature, because if you head into an Arctic area, your body temperature starts to drop and your guy starts to cough and he starts shaking. So it's a very realistic game.
Yeah, because I noticed when Solo was playing, like he got hit by a zombie and he's pretty like low on health. And when he's running, like you can see his guy like about to faint, Like his eyes are closing. The vision started blurring.
Yes, that also happens. So you pretty much need to bandage yourself as soon as possible if you're bleeding. And also there are, in a lot of cases, like you might break your leg. And then your guy is just there sitting, and you need all these morphine injections to just get yourself well again.
So they made it like a realistic game, even though it has limitations, but like you still feel like you need to do the necessary things to survive.
Yes, pretty much. And it's also you can't really chat as easily to others in that game. It's limited, depending on the server and such. And you have to, like, when you talk to someone, it's mostly voice communication. Like I saw at one point, he was speaking to this other guy, and that person was speaking a different language, and it's like they both held weapons, and he didn't know what the other guy was saying. So it was just very awkward, and you just quiet. In the end, that guy just ran away for no reason.
Yeah, just like screw this one, let's get this guy. Anyway, guys, I think we wrap this up for now.
We have more topics to talk about. Before we talk about the #1 on the charts game at the moment, have any of you tried the first Assassin's Creed 3 DLC? It's called Tyranny of the King Washington.
I didn't play Assassin's Creed to a point where I need to play the DLC. Like, it got a bit too repetitive, You play the first one, oh, it's okay. You play the second one, oh, they fixed a lot of stuff, the game was good and everything. And then you get to the third one, you're like, okay, you're just gonna do the same thing all over again,
Well, basically, this DLC is way irrelevant from the story itself. I mean, that's what I read about it. So it's just like an expansion, so people keep on.
It's like an alternate reality from the actual one. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Okay. So like, there have been this fuzz lately about Simcity. It's currently like sitting on #1 in the charts in GameSpot. Even though the review, like the points it's giving, is really low, it's as low as 5. But
see, I think what's happening is most people are criticizing it because the servers crashed when they first launched.
Yeah. Everyone is saying that the server is trash. Like, it takes you, like it could also remind you of the days where League of Legends took over 9,000.
No, It's not
The
just
worst part
that.
of the game was Diablo. You can't compare it to
Nah.
that.
Oh, it
You
was
can't
like
you can't
1
blame
week to
these
just log
things.
in.
Yeah.
But it's
So
the
I
same
think
thing.
that's why, you know, that's
Such,
why
like,
people are
these games.
criticizing it.
I think the major problem is these guys. They don't like expect these many people to join. For example, if World of Warcraft first came out, it was nuts. Servers kept going down and all that stuff. And also it happened when the new expansions pack came for World of Warcraft. Things kept
The
crashing.
thing
Like
is, like,
you can't expect
these
this many
companies
people.
should see that the gaming industry is turning into an online gaming industry. You know, they have to be prepared for this amount of, let's say, traffic. It's like, let's say, look
It's
at
hard
the
to
amount of
predict.
people
Hard to
playing it. Okay,
predict.
no, I'm not saying that. Like, look at the amount of people playing online games these days. It's insane. It's like off the charts. So when you release a game, you have to expect that you're gonna have a lot of players trying to enter your service. So you have to keep a backup or something, you know, like a backup plan for that incoming traffic.
Yeah. But I
So
haven't
like
played like any of the previous parts of the game.
the game itself is quite good, especially like the new
Anyway,
features they added in Simcity is like really good, especially with those
Zeruga, hold
natural
on.
disasters.
We're gonna wrap up the episode today
Yeah.
because it's been going on for too long and stuff, and obviously we want to play as well. Sorry guys, but we have things to do.
Okay.
Some custom games and ARM's going on in League of Legends.
Basically, today we talked more about Tomb Raider and we talked about Starcraft 2 and a little bit about SimCity. And
And Daisy, don't
yeah.
forget Daisy.
Sorry. And I really hope that we sufficed each game. Next week, if we're meeting again, we need to discuss PS4 and Xbox 720. What are anticipation expectations?
And the next gen graphics cards,
Yeah, yeah.
because those two will be competing
So
as
we
well.
leave next week for next generation gaming.
Consoles, yeah.
Yeah,
And before we go, I just want to add a
cards.
few things. Yeah, I'll just add a few things. Since the StarCraft topic came up, we're gonna think about getting a StarCraft community going on for the Middle East. So stay tuned for that. We'll think about it. And we also have a DayZ server, which is run by one of our friends. So we can check that out. We'll probably post the details on our website, arabgamingworld.com. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks to Zeruga, me, CK, hamjacks, and Mati for being here today. And hopefully we'll meet each other again next week for another Arab Gaming World Hangout.
Yeah, and hopefully CKs and hamjacks will get webcams, so we can see
Yep.
their pretty faces.
It's on the
I'll
way.
add a PayPal link to our
Pretty
website. So you can donate
faces.
some webcams.
I look just like my avatar, so don't be surprised, guys.
Okay, so peace out, guys.
Yes.